Yeah, it stopped. I don't know why. I don't know where. Oh, well, this will be fun. From the top.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
The Lunsby Show with
T-Bone.
And Chick Brew.
Let's God bless. All these years, just get it right one time.
What do you want from me?
40 years they've been trying. You couldn't fire somebody if they were horrible, doing a terrible job for the veterans. And now you can say you're fired.
Okay. No one listens to radio.
And now for a quick disclaimer.
The Lunsby Show with
T-Bone
And Chick Brew.
is brought to you by nobody. We have no sponsors.
The show is still rated G.
For Gloria.
things. You know, all kinds of things.
Things.
Yeah, things, man. All right, so from the top, I am freezing. Okay, we all right. I can't pull this off without a straight face. We had a technical glitch, and everything that we just did, we're redoing. We're going to catch you up to where we are. We're going to bring you, the listener, up to where we are. First of all, you're listening to the Lunsby Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew, an international morning show. She lives in southern Spain. I live in central Pennsylvania. We get together once a week and we talk about things. It's what we do. Right now, I am freezing in my basement in the middle of May. And in our previous discussion, we talked about the good old days of working in television and radio. When you went into the studio, you had a whole bank of lights, many, many, many lights that were on you. And the studios had to be freezing cold because those incandescent light bulbs that they used generated heat. Well, we've all gotten away from incandescent light bulbs. Everybody uses LED, and LED, you can touch them. There's no heat on them, none at all. So the psychosomatic effect, I have all the lights on me right now, pretending to be warm, but deep down inside, I am freezing. This is the part. And you should
have your what?
This is the part where you remind me of a wonderful gift you bought me for my recovery.
Yeah, your Snuggie, which, as you reminded me, also has feeties and handsies and a pocket.
Yes, it had hand holes and feet holes and a pocket. Women's dresses don't even have pockets. My Snuggie had a pocket. And you said...
For glasses and snacks and phones.
And then I admitted to never using the pocket to hold snacks.
Which makes me kind of disappointed in you.
Yes. And then something got us talking about flavor. What?
Well, we were talking about snacks.
Well, we were talking about snacks, but then something got as specific into flavor because it wasn't in the food segment where I talk out of turn about something that, all right, imagine flavor just got triggered. And then I say something like, oh, I got a story to tell you about flavor. Okay, here we go. I recently had a personal tour of the Zero Day Brewing Company. My friend Malik is a brewmeister. He makes the beer, and he gave me a personal, educational, and informative tour of their facilities. It was really fun and enjoyable. And during the course of this tour, he popped a barrel and he sprinkled some barrel stuff into a thing, and then we sampled that, and that was really cool. And during the course of the tour, he broke out an amazing flavor profile / combination thing that would kill you.
Mango?
Yes, it is mango. Just as we previously mentioned, it's not only mango.
That's why we keep the Benadryl right here.
Give her an EpiPen to the throat, because when I told her this earlier, she said she would be willing to try it. She's deathly allergic to mangoes, but this beer...
Sometimes you gotta live on the edge.
This beer was a mango habanero combination. And it was absolutely delightful. You don't taste much mango, and the habanero is very prevalent. It is relevant. It is there, but it is also very subtle. There is a very subtle heat. It is the only beer I can imagine to be the perfect sipping beer. This is not a beer to guzzle. This is a beer that you just gently sip on it. And
to complement.
And it stays, and the heat stays. But again, it's not a terrible heat, but it's present in your throat. You feel it It is very.
You know what that would probably go really well with? You know that like whipped feta with the like pomegranate seeds, and you like eat it with the crackers and a little bit of honey.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that would go good together.
Well, if you're willing to try it, I'm willing to stick an EpiPen in you.
I don't really have an EpiPen because they're mad expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, and the Navy doesn't give them to you anymore.
Well, it must be because they're not effective.
I watched a video the other day where this girl was like, you got to give her EpiPen, and she just rips it out, has her hand on the back, her hand goes like this and goes, but she had it upside down. So she just shot it to the ball. I was like,
that isn't pleasant at all. That's quite painful.
Oh my God.
We, in my day in the Navy, we had this thing called 2-PAM chloride. And in the event of a chemical attack, that's one of the things that you use to stay alive. A self-injecting pen, but these were military-grade self-injecting pens.
So they didn't work?
But when they did work, you gonna remember that. You know, remember when they had the guns and they would immunize you with the guns?
Oh yeah.
And you have that mark on you for a very long time. That's what 2-PAM chloride scarring looks like. Plus, if you weren't in the middle of a chemical attack and you used 2-PAM chloride, you'd do the funky chicken. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to use it unless you're dying. Then you use it.
Well,
yeah.
Semantics.
Yes, it's just the little things in life. I guess I got so excited talking about my tour, I must have accidentally hit like the space bar, and I'm pretty sure the space bar stopped the recording. So out of I hate this phrase.
Abundance of
I hate that phrase. But out of said abundance of caution, I'm just going to move that keyboard away from my very animated hands today. I'm very handsy today. I got the hands. But no, that was so. This was the brewery, and it's the giant containers and the cans and the art design and the brew house with the heat and all of this stuff and hoses everywhere, hoses and water everywhere. But they weren't open for business. This was a personal tour, and I couldn't buy any of the a mango habanero. But he told me that I could go, and Pennsylvania is a weird place. If you ever visit Pennsylvania, you're gonna learn that the people here do things differently. It's not wrong, it's not right, it's just different.
Pennsylvania.
It's just Pennsylvania different. We've got Pennsylvania Dutch. That's a real thing. Pennsylvania Dutch is a language. And
Pennsylvania different.
It's Pennsylvania different. That should be the state slogan. You cannot get your beer and your alcohol in the same building. And for whatever reason, liquor licenses are really hard to get in Pennsylvania. So many of the organizations are BYOB.
Got it.
So I go to a pizza joint, and it's a BYOB pizza joint, and I'm meeting friends there, so I have to go to another restaurant up the street that sells beer to bring it back to the pizza joint where my friends are to have beer and pizza. Because beer and pizza, I don't care what you say, they go together.
It's a good combo.
They go together so well that recently we had a pizza party for Mike's birthday. Mike celebrated his birthday. Sam went and bought a bunch of pies, and I dashed away to buy beer. Yes, drinking beer at work in America is so ridiculously frowned upon that it had to be non-alcoholic beer. And
versus Spain, apple juice. Yeah. The manzanilla, apple juice.
It's just so looked down upon that we had to buy the fake beer. And even with the fake beer, you still got some people who got their eyes crossed a little bit, And then I remember going to the Chiefs Club in Spain for lunch, and wine is part of the lunch. And everybody is enjoying lunch together. And we all went back to work together. No one's getting fit-chased. Everyone is enjoying an adult beverage appropriately with the meal, and then they go back to work. I loved doing that.
How many times do we see like the National Police, the Guardia Civil pop down to Chiringuito for lunch? They have the little,
Yeah, but they always, here at least, everyone looks at you sideways whenever you go to a lunch thing and order a beer. A single beer with your lunch, and people are like, "Rrr." So judgy. So judgy.
All that freedom.
Yeah, there we go with all that freedom. So I bought non-alcoholic Corona. I bought non-alcoholic Heineken, and we had Heineken and we had pizza together for Mike's birthday. And it was a fun time. We had a lot of laughs. I heard Lisa tell a story that I had never heard before. She keeps emergency boxes of wine on her person, in her vehicle. She keeps an emergency ration of wine in case she accidentally finds herself in a BYOB restaurant. I just think...
Like the juice boxes?
Yes, like juice boxes of wine. I just think that is so beautifully brilliant. That it's so well prepared for any occasion. You're like, curses. This restaurant doesn't have a liquor license.
The apocalypse, but Lisa's got wine.
It's okay. I got you covered. It was such a great story. I loved it so much, the thought of it, that when I'm searching for mango habanero beer from Zero Day Brewing Company at one of the beer facilities, because again, alcohol and beer are in different facilities. I know the liquor stores like the back of my hand, but the beer stores, I've never gone to a beer store. But I did, and it's just a warehouse full of beer. And they got all kinds of beer, but they did not have Zero Day beer. But they did have juicy boxes of wine. And I saw that display rack and laughed immediately. And then I bought a couple of juicy boxes to keep in my car just in case I ever find myself at a BYOB and I need my vino.
Do they have, I wonder if they have the 512 Pecan Porter in your beer warehouse, because that is one of my favorite beers.
A 512 Pecan Porter.
Yeah. I don't know the distribution cycle of that one. Like one of my other favorite beers is Odell's, not to be confused with O'Doul's, but Odell's out of Denver, the Denver area. They do an IPA, which I'm not a big IPA person, but it's delicious. And you can get it in Colorado and Phoenix, Arizona. That's their distribution.
Eastbound down, going up and trucking. We gonna do what they say can't be done. The whole premise of the Smokey and Bandit movies was that you could not buy Coors east of the Mississippi. It's just, what a strange thing. Like, you make your own beer, and you've got trucks, and you could take it anywhere in the country, but somewhere someone made a decision that as long as you stayed west of Mississippi, you're all right. But don't you dare go east of the Mississippi, unless you got the Bandit and Snowman running your beer for you.
All that freedom.
We played the supplemental this morning. During the supplemental, we played our little trivia quiz. It was a fun time had by all. However, ChatGPT screwed up bad, real bad.
I saw your post, but I couldn't watch it because I was at work.
Oh, well, I am work friendly, you know. ChatGPT just screwed up the entire question. And then I basically afterwards, after it had been pointed out repeatedly by Mr. Taney, I went into ChatGPT and said, explain yourself. How did this happen? And ChatGPT came back with, you see what happened was. And it just gave me like a human excuse for giving me an absolutely wrong answer that had nothing to do with this week in history, and incorrectly identified Hawaii as the 49th state. Not true.
ChatGPT has entered its teenage years where it cannot take responsibility for any of its own actions, is what you're saying.
Maybe post-toddler years? Because it's not actively rebelling yet. So once it gets to teenage years, that's going to be active rebellion. The senile years is, of course, when our robot overlords will take over. And we all know in any apocalyptic scenario, you're tapping out.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, do not wish for
the wagyu of human meat, as you have referred to yourself.
Yep. Today I went to the gym with like a person that goes to the gym. It's a good thing we're doing this today, where I still have some use of my arms to like get the keyboard, because tomorrow that might not be the case.
Oh, the good old days of working out till you don't work right. When you go heavy on arms day and then you can't unbend your arms all the way.
Yeah. I was like, why is this the most comfortable position? Like walking around like with little T-Rex arms and little mummy crosses.
Are you still doing the boxing stuff?
Yeah. I actually went boxing 3 times this week. I did my normal training, and then on Saturday before I went to work, I went and did a little sparring. I got hit in the face a lot. It was great. I loved every second of it.
Okay. I can't help but notice that you're fighting your hair hard today.
I saw my hair. I have really bad allergies, and I didn't take the Benadryl yet because I didn't want to get sleepy on you. So all of my skin on my face is itchy, and on my neck.
Take the Benadryl now.
And I keep sneezing.
Yeah.
It'll make me sleepy so fast.
But it won't make you that sleepy. You can last 43 minutes.
I've been up since 7.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
It's funny. I was talking with Damian recently about, he said he gets up early. And I kind of winked at him like, yeah, you don't know what early is. Because when people say when civilians specifically say they get up early and like 7:30 is early for them, I laugh. Now, his wasn't 7:30. I think his was like 6. And I guess people could think that that's early. But I'm 3.5 hours into my day by the time by the time most people wake up. And I'm a productive 3.5 hours into the day. I don't just wake up at 3:30 and lay there. I go on and I buy stuff online and
You housewife for the first 3 hours of your day.
Yeah, I scroll and I comment and I purchase. It's a good time. It's a fun time had by me.
This week, I boxed Tuesday, I boxed Thursday before work. Saturday, I boxed before work. Today, I got up at 7, was at the gym, working out by 8, from 8 to 9. And then from like 9 till 9:30, because 9:30 till 11, I played pickleball, left there, went home, take a shower because I had to work. So like this week has been a pretty good week of activity, but I'm tired now.
Are you so tired? Did you take the Benadryl so you won't feel bad?
I took it.
Okay, you're going to be fine. I want to upload. There's the thing. And there's the other thing. And there's another thing. Oh, that didn't work out, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's too big.
That's what she said.
We'll throw that up there, and it doesn't look good, but it'll suffice. Wow, that looks like it's a mural painted on the wall behind me. That thing is huge.
Huge.
Yeah, huge.
It looks good.
It does look good, right? And it was me going back and forth many, many times. You've seen it, right? You've seen it?
Yeah.
I love the way that came out. Before I make a new set of stickers, I'm going to throw that QR code on the bottom little section there so people can scan it and go right to the fan page, which if you haven't found the fan page yet, it's pretty easy. There's this thing on Facebook called a search bar, and you just put in there #LUNSB. If you do it in Facebook, it'll take you right to the fan page. If you do it in the Google box, it'll take you to a whole series of places where you can listen to the show, because maybe iHeart isn't for everybody. Hey everybody, it's T-Bone. Did you know you can listen to the Lunsby Show on the iHeartRadio app? The team at iHeartRadio has created 2 new features on the app. You can now auto-download to your device and be notified whenever new episodes are released, all for free using the iHeartRadio app. And you can listen to the Lunsby Show from anywhere. iHeartRadio. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love. You're an Apple person. You've always been an I person, right? So do you listen to us on iTunes? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
you don't listen
on
at all.
Apple Podcast.
Yeah, I'm always curious because our numbers come to us in different ways, and most of the numbers that we get are off of Spotify, but we do get some Apple, we do get some iHeart, which is interesting because the only one we ever did a commercial for was iHeart, actually, iHeart itself. And only because Darrell McLean on his show threw out a commercial. No, he played a clip by a former Speaker of the House, and that was their verbiage. I was like, oh, that would make a good commercial. I'll just revoice it and add our special Matador music to the mix, and it worked out really well. Hey, normally we do this next section later in the show, but it has been on my mind so much as of late. I want to talk about the focus on your feed. This is every week. What we're doing now is we're sharing with each other the things that the mysterious algorithm has sent us to look at, and then you can't unlook at it because you like it and it keeps popping up and it keeps popping up. So the algorithms are very aggressive. What is popping up in your feed this week?
So I've had a few just. A lot of drunk drivers being pulled over, which is hilarious. Also, from Busted Newspaper, a lot of different counties in Texas have Busted Newspaper. They also have a Facebook. Been getting a lot of mug shots lately, but the one that has really I don't know how I got here, but the group, the Dull Women's Club, which I was not a part of. They've been sharing their prom stories. Oh. And I mean prom stories back to ages, across the ages. And some of them are just, by today's standards, terrifying. Like this one girl that she went to prom with her boyfriend at the time, he was 23. How did he get in?
Easy. That's not unheard of. That's a 4-year.
No, it was not allowed at our school.
We're talking a high school prom, right? Like a graduation prom, like an 18-year-old. Okay.
She was 17.
17 on the verge.
So at my school, you could not be of drinking age to participate in prom. Everyone was ID'd.
Well,
and I don't imagine you'd be like, yeah, this is my underage ID to get into Round Rock High School's prom.
Our age difference is not a generation. We are not a generation apart, but we definitely, there's a few years in between us. If you could
not have been my date to prom. Legally or morally.
Whatever. Morally, I don't know if that's acceptable. If you were lucky enough to have a 23-year-old boyfriend or girlfriend, and that was who you wanted to come with prom, there were no restrictions. Because here's what's going to happen at every prom. I'm pretty sure until this day. To this day, I'm pretty sure these are the things that happen in prom. There's going to be the awkwardness. There's going to be a little bit of dancing. Then there's going to be some heavy petting of some type. And there's going to be somebody's going to spike the punch. That's going to happen. And it's probably the 23-year-old boyfriend because he's the only one of legal age to buy. But and there's going to be lots and lots of regrets. That's pretty much every prom story on the Dull Woman website.
No, some of them are hilarious. Like one girl, she didn't even make it into her prom. Her boyfriend borrowed his cousin's Mustang, and they showed up, but she was wearing a 1980s prom dress that had a lot of tulle, and she closed the door, and her boyfriend at that moment thought, I'm going to show everyone what this car's got.
Oh, no.
And then drug her. So she ended up in the hospital insisting that she would make it back to prom. But apparently when the morphine wore off, she opted out of prom. Well, I do remember my senior prom, and the regret there was going.
What was
it? Going. Junior prom was super fun. It was really a good time. Lots of hilariousness. Afterwards, we went to the Black Cat Club and watched some psychobilly bands play, and we did some weird swing dancing, and it was great. Senior year, the air conditioning at the hotel was out.
Oh.
In Texas, in the whole ballroom. It was awful.
Ooh.
We left early.
I have none of those memories. I didn't do any of those things. Never, no balls, no proms, nothing. It didn't help that I was in the 9th grade 4 years in a row. Not because I was stupid, because I had other priorities. Okay. I was working.
Okay.
I was making money. I was in a band. I was doing things, man. And I didn't have time for school. I still showed up to school. Some days I'd show up to school, I'd wave to the principal, and then I'd leave immediately because I had other things to do. I wasn't a good student. And once I found out that I could just take a test and they would, give you the equivalency of a diploma. Oh, sign me up for that. And I did, and I didn't even try. It was...
That's sad.
Yeah, the GED test was probably one of the easiest tests I ever took in my life, and I took tests in the military for, military stuff. But that GED, at the time, 1988, was not...
I was 4.
was not good enough to get me into the military.
Oh?
I wanted to be like my daddy. I wanted to be a Marine. And at the time, 1988, they were near their cap. At the time, you could only have 250,000 Marines on active duty, and they were at 248. So believe it or not, they were being super selective. They didn't, you couldn't have a high school, you couldn't have a GED. You had to have a high school diploma. If you had a GED, you had to have at least 15 college credits. And my dumb self is trying to find out a way to get 15 college credits so I could join the Marines as an infantryman, as a ground-pounding infantryman with no guarantees of anything. You show up and you do what we tell you to do, was the Marine Corps in 1988. I walked out of that office slightly dejected, and I scored very high on my Armed Forces Aptitude Battery testing. I scored very high. All right, so I might have a GED, but I ain't no dummy. And they wouldn't take me, and I couldn't afford the 15 college credits. I was joining the military because I needed money and benefits. I needed health benefits more than anything for somebody else. And I left that Marine Corps' office, and I am dejected. And that Navy recruiter standing right there in the hallway in Brooklyn smoking on his cigarette. And he had the easiest job. Just stand there and wait for the kids to walk out of the Marine Corps offices dejected and reel them right in. And we signed the paperwork that day. And it wasn't much later. I don't want to get into all the details because it's kind of boring. But in a few months, I was on my way to Great Lakes, or as it's known in the military, Great Mistakes. I
just call it that place where things happen.
I never think of my career as being a mistake. The Navy did great things for me. I am forever grateful because
It brought me into your life.
I was not on the right path. Let's be clear about that. Bad things were going to happen to me if I had stayed in the situation that I was in. So I'm glad I changed it, and I'm glad I got in, and I wish more people would do that with a sense of gratitude. They would join the military with a sense of gratitude instead of a sense of entitlement. We were told it's not where you're from, it's where you're at, all right? I'm from Brooklyn, right? Yeah. No, you're in the Navy. Get all of that Brooklyn out of you, because it's not where you're from anymore. That's why people from Texas and people from Brooklyn and people from California, that's people of different races, different nationalities. That's how we could all get along in the military, because the military became our family, and that was a great experience. It is a good time. It's funny. I have 3 brothers. I told all of them the same thing. None of them listened to me. I said, join the Air Force. Based on my military experience, if you wanted it good, you joined the Air Force. And all the Air Force people I know have it pretty good. I wish the Brewers would come back. They're in Africa right now. They took Zeus's girlfriend to Africa, and we want her back.
They took her?
Well, it's their dog.
Well, they live there now.
Yeah, he's stationed there now. He's stationed in Africa. Yeah. Air Force people. Come back, please. The Brewers of no relation, by the way. Right. I think we covered that. Lost my train of thought. Just lost it completely. I got distracted by Rosa. Can't say the name out loud because he reacts strongly to the name out loud. It is so crazy how smart dogs can be.
Yeah.
Oh! We were on Focus on Feed. Focus on your feed, and you were telling us about the dull ladies and the things that you go on, and now it's my turn.
Just tell me.
Babies.
What?
Yes. AI-generated babies
Yes.
recreating famous movie scenes. So
Or Judge Judy's.
Or Judge Judy. Yeah, good television. It is so funny to watch. I just saw the My Cousin Vinny one with the two Utes. I just saw that. Of course, there was the Jack Nicholson, You Can't Handle the Truth scene from A Few Good Men. Whoever does these, they're so funny to watch. That's why I created Baby Chick Brew and Baby T-Bone. And I, even while I was waiting for you today, spent way too much time trying to put those two faces together in a video of us like going back and forth during the opening sequence of the show. I haven't
But
figured.
did you see the actual baby picture of me?
Yes, I did see the actual baby picture
Pretty
of you.
close.
And yeah, pretty close. Because AI took your actual face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I don't
I've done weird things at the mall with the machine and the pictures, and it's never been that good. You know, like that was pretty good.
Yeah, it had them Dusseldorf glasses on.
So let me get them out of my backpack. So
But
I
I have had so much fun. Everyone comments on the pictures. They think they're hilarious. And I will find a way one day. Right now, I've got a trial subscription to Canva. And we'll see if I can. I'm still learning on how to do it. But I made the baby pictures. Now I just got to make the video. And
you know who is an expert at Canva?
Who?
Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin Durant. He knows all the things. He knows the short keys. Where I work, he's like, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, dude, that's so fast.
Oh, okay. Show Kevin our baby photos. Let him listen to the opening sequence and put them together and make us a baby video. Please, Kevin. Please.
Kevin.
We'll give you all the shout outs. That's the retired chief guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hook a brother up. Habu. The season of comedy is getting ready to come to an end, but there still are opportunities to get free tickets, and this is how. Get your laugh on and save a life. The Harrisburg Comedy Zone, in partnership with the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank, offer 2 free passes for every single pint of blood donated. Quick clarification, it must be your blood. 1 pint, 2 free passes. That's almost the junkie rate for a plasma donation. Did you know a single pint of blood can save as many as 3 lives? Did you know the Harrisburg Comedy Zone features amazing talent from all over the country every single weekend? Did you also know that blood expires and the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank is in regular need of donations? For more information on how you could save a life and have a laugh, visit cpbb.org and harrisburgcomedyzone.com. That's one word, harrisburgcomedyzone.com. So those free passes that you can get from the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank, what a challenging thing that was to say over and over again. Those free passes are only good for regular admission shows. This past weekend, we had Raymond, the Amish comic in town. That was considered a specialty show. You couldn't use your free passes there. And they shut down. They do not bring in nationally touring comedians during the summertime, and that's going to be in just a couple of weeks. And the last person that we will have in town is the very funny John Reap. But John is coming here to make money, okay? He will sell out, and he's doing 2 shows on Friday and 2 shows on Saturday. I do the Warno at 6 o'clock on Friday. I will not be able to get that information out to people in time. So number 1, you'll have to pay for the tickets. Number 2, it's John Reap, very funny. Number 3, the first show is going to start at 6:30 on both Friday and Saturday. That's for our local listeners. If you want to come out to the Comedy Zone, we'll get you free tickets. I've got free tickets sitting on my desk. You can get free tickets. Or you could pay, especially if it's a specialty show. I have a good time out there. I really do enjoy that. What do you want to talk about next?
Cooking.
Ah, yes. It's time to talk about cooking.
And tonight proved one thing. You know, all.
As that gentle reminder, she is a no-kidding chef. I am a no-kidding fat boy. Fat boys for life. No, she is a chef, and I am an amateur chef. Like most of you, self-taught, no lessons. Thanks you very much, Pops. Famous line from The Wedding Singer. What interesting thing have you made recently or are planning to make soon?
So a while back, I made these cookies. They were very good cookies. They were dark chocolate with raspberry.
Oh,
They were delicious.
Oh, I bet they were.
But the fresh berries in a cookie they were wet, right? You bake a cookie, you don't want it to burn. You don't want to dry out.
I definitely did not hear the word that you wanted me to hear. I heard erect.
No.
Well, I think you said wrecked.
They're wet.
Wet.
Because of the juice in the fruit.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever cookies you're eating, keep it to yourself. This is a family show. But gluten-free flour is very dry, right? You make something with gluten-free flour, you should always add extra moisture to it. Juice, milk, whatever. So I made the same cookies, but I made them gluten-free. They were perfect.
Really?
They were perfect because as the berries cook, they kind of burst and oh my gosh.
I have made cookies over the years and I always cheated. When it came to the fruit stuff, I always just used jelly, like a raspberry jelly or blueberry jelly. I cheated. I always thought that was an easier way of putting those ingredients together, but I've never used any gluten-free ingredients. I wouldn't know what to do, honestly, with gluten-free anything. And I realize there's instructions on all of this stuff, but who needs it?
Me, because those cookies were fantastic. They were fantastic.
So what was the occasion? You don't normally just make cookies. You're not that old.
Maybe I'm just that old. I wanted a cookie. There was no dessert in the house, and I was off on Friday because I had to work the weekend, and I had a busy week, and I wanted a cookie, and I wanted a good cookie. I didn't want like that last Girl Scout cookie that I'm hiding in the freezer, for when I'm desperate for a Thin Mint. No, I wanted like something warm and chewy and delicious. And and I'm old now, so I have all the ingredients at my house.
What are your thoughts on goldfish?
Like the crackers?
Yes, the baked cheesy delight goldfish. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, eat them.
Yeah.
By the handful.
Do you know they make mega-sized goldfish? They still call them goldfish, but they're like the size of a koi instead of a goldfish. They're like 4 times larger than a goldfish.
Is it one whole serving or is it?
No. Oh no, they're tasty and delicious. But you don't have a bunch of little ones. You have larger ones.
But I like the little ones. I like to put them in my front teeth and crack them in half.
Okay, you could do that with the larger ones.
2 mirrors size.
But they have a cheddar jalapeno mega goldfish.
All right, we'll send that over because they don't have that here.
Well, Amazon ships, baby. And when I'm not buying 20 pounds of animal crackers, I'm buying jalapeno flavored goldfish or koi fish. It would be funny if they called them koi fish.
Fancy goldfish.
I haven't really cooked up anything special as of late. Trying to get away from eating that casino food all the time because they give it to you. It's like here's some money, go get some food, and then we stock up.
You wear your Snuggie, you fill the pocket with mega goldfish.
But I have been back into the salad kick because BJ's has great salad fixings. They got the mini cucumbers that I like, and they got the mushrooms that I like, and a big bag of salad, all at low, cheap prices. They also have, and I don't know if you've experienced these bad boys, Snapdragon apples.
No.
I don't know what makes a Snapdragon apple so amazingly crispy, but
Is it a regular size apple?
It's a regular sized apple, but it has the apple juice drink with the thing in the Martinelli's, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
Where if you bite down on the plastic, it sounds like you're eating an apple.
Yeah.
Yes, it's that kind of crunch in an actual apple. These things are, I don't know why they're called Snapdragons, but they're really, really crunchy.
Snapdragon, a New York apple characterized by its monster crunch. From the New York Apple Association.
They are delicious. Hungry for apples? I don't know why Rick and Morty just popped into my head.
Here we go.
Speaking of apples, what is your favorite? What kind of apple do you like? And no, this is not the question of the week, listeners. I have a great question of the week coming up for next week. And we'll get into last week's question of the week. But right now, we're talking apples.
Like, what kind of apple would I purchase as a snack?
If you were to buy an apple as a snack, yes, and you had your choice of all of the apples in existence, which one would you like?
I probably wouldn't buy an apple because I don't really like them as a snack.
Okay, all right. Never.
But I will say, okay, if I'm like using them in like a dish, the Pink Lady, really good for Brussels sprouts with bacon.
Okay.
Green apples make a delicious apple pie. The red ones, they're not great.
I have been asked whether I like green apples or which do I prefer, green apples or red apples. And it really is situationally dependent. Like, I am not a big apple fan, but I found this giant bag of Snapdragons, and apples are a treat that you can give a dog that has irritable bowel disorder. So I wanted to buy the apples to share with him, to give him a treat, because I feel horrible not being able to give him treats all the time because, he's going through some issues. And he doesn't understand why he's not getting treats. He's being a good boy. Why isn't he getting...
his best friend is gone?
Yeah. He's being a good boy. Why isn't he getting treats? So at least the apple allows me to give him some treats. And he's still learning. He's still learning to like the apple. Like, I'll give it to him, and he's happy that something in his mouth. And then he spits it out like, what are you doing to me? And I'm like, come on,
I thought
dude.
you loved me.
Come on, dude. Look at me. I'm eating it with you. But I use those things in everything. I put them in my salad. I put them in I bought chicken, rotisserie chicken. So BJ's is a wholesale warehouse. And much like Costco, they have super cheap rotisserie chicken. But it was not cooked well. This upset me immensely.
Liver chicken is what it sounds like.
So I had to debone it and then cook it properly. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this into a chicken salad. And I'm going to add relish. And I'm going to add these apples. And it made really tasty chicken salad.
So wait, they had uncooked chicken.
There was blood inside my chicken.
Sitting in a warmer.
Yes. That came off of a stick. That came off of a rotisserie. I am going to be talking to the manager the next time I go there, and I took photos of the bloody chicken. I'm new to BJ's, and I like going to BJ's because I like saying BJ's.
I know you do.
It's just entertaining. And Costco is too far away when BJ's is much closer, and Costco... his name? Well, I thought the last time they locked up P. Diddy, he was going to stay in prison.
No. Wrong again.
Sean Puff Daddy, Sean P. Diddy, Sean Pervert, I think is what the P really stood for. Wow. If you haven't spent any time looking at the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial, if you remember the video of him beating the snot out of his girlfriend while he's wearing a bathrobe in a hotel lobby, that tells you everything you need to know about that guy. I don't like people like him. He's a bully and he's a weirdo, and there's so much I don't like. It
is okay to be a weirdo.
Not with force and violence.
No, with consent.
Right. Drugged force and violence.
Crucial.
Yes. True. I am very weird. Hey, you know I identify as a kangaroo.
Yeah, we know.
Yes.
You have vaginas.
I am not a female kangaroo. I identify as a male kangaroo, and that's easy to remember because my testicles are above. They're not below, they're above. And they're highly mobile.
I will prefer to think of you as the kangaroo with 3 vaginas.
No.
I prefer.
No. Do you have another headline for me?
I do. Couple replaces paper wedding invitations with edible alternative. Loaf at first sight.
Say that last part again.
Loaf at first sight.
Loaf at first sight. Oh, God. I was hoping. Okay, if it's me, first of all, it's not me because this scenario will never happen. I am never getting remarried. I'm never getting remarried. I will take this one to the grave. She's good. She's
she
good.
Will put you in the grave.
Yeah, it's a race to the grave. I will never remarry. But if I were in a crazy scenario and decided to to save the environment and print my invitations on something edible, it would be without a doubt panties.
Mega goldfish.
Panties. Edible panties. You are cordially invited to the nuptial ceremony of turnover.
Proceed to butt for more information.
Yes, and from the end of the headline that you mentioned, I'm guessing that they put them on slices of bread. The invitations were on slices of bread?
Probably sourdough because, no other bread exists any longer.
Baked right into the... Did they have a picture? I'm curious of what that would look like. How about you? On your next marriage, what kind of invitations would you use that are not your standard?
Absolutely not. If this one doesn't work, I'm for the streets. I'm done.
I think that's a testament of a good marriage. I think people who say what we're saying right now, that if this doesn't work, there will never be another this. I think that's a testament to a strong marriage. Because if this doesn't work as good as this is...
It cannot get better than this.
It cannot. It cannot get better than this.
I'm not looking for anything better. I'm perfectly content.
Yes, I just wish she wouldn't. I wish she wouldn't take notes when she's watching Dateline. That tends to scare me a little bit. That one looks. That's a little suspicious. Well, we have done all the things. We have used up our allotted time. Unless you've got something else you want to put out, we're getting ready to wrap this up. You got anything else?
Oh, I got to do Navy stuff for the next 2 weeks.
You're doing Navy stuff. Where are you doing Navy stuff?
With the CTF down in Rhoda.
Okay. That keeps you in town. That's cool.
Yeah. Right. I got to submit my package and letter to the board by the 22nd. And then I could just do whatever for the rest of the time.
There you go.
Take some pictures.
I can't wait for your... How is, speaking of how is your viral story at? Where are you at in numbers now?
Oh, I haven't even looked. This week has been so busy.
Okay, well, update the fan. When this episode posts, update the numbers so people know how awesome you are. That's going to wrap it up for us. That's going to wrap it up for us this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, as always, for listening. I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you are a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved.
Thank you for listening to T-Bone and Chick Fruit. If you enjoyed that show, you should check out the Darrell McClain Show, independent media that won't reinforce tribalism. We have one planet and nobody's leaving, so let's reason together. You can find the Darrell McClain Show at the same place you actually listen to this show. Give it a shot.
Google Patton opening speech. You're welcome.